Good morning. I love the shades.
Thanks. I couldn't look at myself.
I know. So it's 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I'm blaming that I look a hot mess, but because I got that microneedling done, I have those marks under my eyes. So that's what I'm going to blame my awfulness on this morning. You're just
I need to
wearing
get
the
that
shades.
done.
I didn't realize. So I went for, which I thought was my last appointment. I swear she told me it was in threes. Like you go it's 3 sessions, but like 4 to 6 weeks in between each one.
Yeah.
So I go for my last appointment and I'm like, I was really happy with the results, whatever. And she's like, okay, are we scheduling our next? And I just look at her and I was like, what? Like, I thought this was it. And she's like, oh no, she's like, you can do up to 3, but she's like, I like to do 5. Well, they're not cheap. And I was like, didn't really budget for 5. And I was just like, ugh. My next appointment, I would need Botox. I can't do microneedling and Botox. So I was like, Botox is a must in my, my life. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to stop at the 3. But I was on TikTok and I was looking, they have these like Dr. Pens, it's called.
I know.
And
I saw those.
I didn't even I don't know how much they are. I don't know if they're like very effective. If anyone knows anything about them, please let me know. I'm like very interested because I really did like it. But it's expensive. Mm-hmm. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right. You have anything else to say?
Yeah, I did look at those pens.
No, yeah, and
really. I'm tired. I stayed up wrapping presents last night, so I'm just tired.
I know.
You probably do them the night before, don't you?
I always have forever and ever.
Okay.
And the past 3 years, I've been slowly wrapping. Yeah. So I have some done, but I don't know. I don't feel like we have a lot for me to wrap. So
yeah, we didn't do a crazy Christmas this year. Like
no, we didn't either.
Insane.
Everything's so expensive. I said it's like one gift is at least $100. Well, you have a budget, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, $500. Let's just say $500 a kid. That's what 5 presents under the tree.
Right.
I don't know, and I know it's not about that. I just feel like also like our kids get what they want throughout the year. So what do like? I don't know how it was with the girls, but like when I asked Harlow, I'm like, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know. And like she really had to think about it. And then I felt like she was just like, I feel like she's just saying things to say things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you really want that? Like, is that something that you really want?
Yeah, they had nothing. And then all of a sudden we went to like an open house at their school where they had like Santa Claus and crafts and all kinds of stuff going on. And they saw Santa there and they walked up to him and they're like, oh, I want a scooter. Emma wanted a scooter, and the other one wanted a remote control car. And I'm like, where did this come from? And I'm already done. Like, my Christmas shopping is done. So I ended up just telling Dad, because they still had money left on Mom and Dad's budget. So I was like,
good.
You've been asking. So
yeah,
apparently they want a remote control car and a scooter.
That's funny. Yeah, I always make sure that, like, I'm always on top of Harlow. Like, what are you asking Santa for? Yeah. And, like, we always, and I think I told you this, do the Bass Pro Santa.
Oh, yeah.
He is the best. Like, it is wonderful. I will continue to do that every year until she doesn't want to get her picture taken.
Yeah, we didn't do any Santas. I didn't even know when we went to this open house. There just happened to be a Mr. and Mrs. Claus there kind of thing. And I was like, yeah. We didn't do Santa. I forgot about it.
So I am like,
don't even know how Santa works because I've never done it. So like, it was funny because even when they walked up, they just stood there and I just have a picture of them like talking to them because they didn't even try to sit on his lap, like nothing. They just went in and said hi. And they're like, he said, what do you want for Christmas? And they told him. And I was like, oh yeah, I've literally never taken my kids to like sit on Santa's lap. We just don't do it.
So this was like, see, we have done since Jersey was a baby, you know, like her very first picture with Santa. And every single year, like, I have their pictures and, like, I'll hang them up around Christmas from the time that they were, like, born up until this was the first year that Jersey wasn't in the picture.
Oh.
And it made me really sad. And I was like, do you want to go with us? And she was just like, no. And then we went. And then, like, we had the puppy with us. So we all got our picture taken. And then I felt awful because I was like, here we are. We all just got our picture taken, and Jersey's not in the picture.
Jersey's not in it. Yeah.
I was very upset about it. But I guess, like, you get to an age, and then you don't, I don't know. I still figured she would go in, like, I guess it was the last 2 years. It was a struggle, and I had to, like, force her to go.
Yeah.
So, all right. We got lots of things happening today.
Yes.
So we're going to get started. So this is the last episode, 10 of season 3, and it was the Book of Enlighten. So it just starts with Taylor and her mom, and they're still sitting there on the couch. I think it was pretty much how your episode ended, with them, you know, just trying to talk to the family friend or whatever about the whole Dakota situation, and she was not budging. She was just like, and then at the very end, she was like, well, I gotta go. I'm at an appointment. It was very kind of weird, and then they were just like, whatever, and hung up. And then I love Tori was like, Tori. I added Dory and Taylor. When Taylor called her Dory, she's like, she's acting like Dory.
Yeah.
Because, like, Dory from, like, that made me laugh.
It was funny.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. And then Taylor's dad calling Dakota a narcissist. Like, I'm like, yes, finally. Like, her family's on her side. Like, I feel like it took this to happen for her, which, I mean, I know her mom was always there, but I felt like her dad especially was so hard on her. Like, all of this was Taylor's fault, you know, and like, she should forgive Dakota, and, you know, like, you're just being over dramatic about it. And it's like, finally, I think that's all Taylor wanted. Like, even with this whole, you know, like, the baby blessing that's coming up, like, he's very much now, like, on her side.
Yes. Yeah.
And she needed that.
Her family just to, like, not understand and trust that she knew what she was talking about, and that she could not trust Dakota because he was a liar. Like, they just couldn't get that through their head. They wanted to, like, minimize everything he had done before. And I had just, like, on my little notes or whatever, I was like, Taylor just looks defeated. Like, her face looks so thin. She looks so tiny sitting in the corner of that couch. Like, she just looks unhealthy. Like, I hope she can move past this and, like, get back to herself, because she does not look good right now.
No, not at all. So then it's just Demi calling Whitney, and they're in the car. I didn't really write much about this. Like, I mean, we can talk on it quickly, but it was just the same thing. You know what I mean? And it was them talking about, you know, the press and everything, and that I think Whitney, you know, asked if they care, or if Demi cares if they, like, set something up with all the girls and kind of, like, hash all of this out. And I did say this. So let's talk about the cease and desist thing, because, like, it goes back to them, you know, showing them at the press or whatever. Is there really a cease and desist? I feel like there's not.
I don't think so.
Because it's like Jen keeps going on and on and on.
I know.
Cease and desist. I have a cease and desist, but it's like, to me, I feel like in this moment,
show a piece of paper.
Yeah, I would pull it up on my phone and be like, "Look, everyone, I have this. I'm not allowed to speak on it." I do agree with Demi on this instance. It's like, just drop it, Jen. She may have said to Brett, "We're gonna get a cease and desist." You know what I mean? Like, it just continues. But I don't think it ever really happened.
No. And it just feels so old news, because we learned about that, like, mid-season 2 or something. So it's
but, like, I was surprised.
If this never came to light, why do we keep harping on it? I don't know.
Yeah, like when Jen brought it up in that interview or whatever, and I was just like, what? Like, why are we still on this?
Yeah.
Demi does say I think it was in Confession, that she is jealous of Taylor.
Yes.
For the grace pretty much that she was given with everything that she did, but she's not getting the same. And I'm like, so different. I feel like this is just completely different situation. You can't compare yourself to Taylor and be like, well, Taylor went on social media to the entire world and made this accusation about other people and everyone forgived her. Yeah. But I was sexually assaulted. Why isn't everyone not on my side? You know what I mean? It's like, Demi.
To forget that Taylor wasn't given grace immediately. Taylor went through hell. Everybody in Mom Talk kicked her out. We didn't see her coming back until like season 1 or whatever. And she was just starting to talk to people again. And they were still pissed at her and nobody trusted her or wanted to be around her. Everybody in her community kicked her out of everything. And she was like, had, you know, like a scarlet letter on her. Like, Demi and Whitney forget that Taylor gets just as much shit as everybody else. She just doesn't harp on it, and it doesn't bother her as much. It's not what she focuses on. They get one negative comment, and their whole world crumbles. And they're like, I'm such a victim. Everybody hates me. She gets shit all the time, too. She's not being given. Everyone is not just, like, letting her pass. And they act like that's what's happening. It's just not true. And that drives me nuts.
I know. And Taylor has said in way past episodes, you know, like, I was at my lowest moment. We only saw the Taylor after all of this. You know what I mean? But she said, like, you know, she was broken, literally curled up in a ball, like, sobbing. So, yeah, it is. Taylor's just a different person, and she, like, shows things differently.
She brushes it off, whereas they harp on it and won't shut up.
So I forget what word they said that they used all the time in the reunion. They used the word grace.
Well, that's like a church word. Yeah.
I've never heard anyone use that word probably in my life. And now I catch myself saying it. Like, when I'm explaining something in her, I'm just like, well, they just need to give her some grace. And I was just like, whoa, what? This was never in my vocabulary. And now why am I using it? But it's like one of those words that if you were doing like a drinking game, you would be wasted. I would love to go back on this episode just in its own and count how many times. I mean, every single girl uses this word. And I wish they would have called this one out other than that other word. I don't know what it was. That other word that they said everyone used except for one of them.
I don't know. If anyone knows what we're talking about, say it. Remember when we were talking about what Whitney looked like? And I was like, it's that wild show, Somebody answered in the comments and said it was.
Oh, what it was?
Yes. And it was just in my head. That's why I said the story, and now I can't remember again.
Every time you say wild, I want to say wild krats, and that's not what
Yes, that's what I want to say, too, but it's not that. Damn it. That must be really annoying to people, because I literally just had it in my head.
I'm going to have to go back and look. So Jessie's having a grand opening of her hair school, and she says, which I feel her on this one, like, she was so worried about her business not continuing to do well because of what was happening in her personal life. And, you know, she did say, you know, like, you just have to literally put yourself out there, accept what is happening, and people will get over it. It's when you dwell on it and are just like, I'm not a victim, and keep bringing it up. That's when people are like, ooh, we're loving this. We're loving it. Yeah. You just have to, like, let it brush off your shoulders. And that's exactly, I feel like, what Jessie and Jordan did. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're going through. This is what's happening.
Wild
I said
berries.
all the girls. Oh, yes. That was a good cartoon.
That was a good cartoon.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the girls are there, including Whitney. Whitney talks to the girls about, you know, like, hearing Demi out, and she, like, personally was talking to Jen, and Jen was not feeling it. Like, her and Jen and Demi are still not there. And I get it. Like, I completely understand.
Yeah. I feel like Jen was away from the group, too, for so long. Like, she's still working through the group stuff because she was so focused on herself and, like, getting through that stuff. So, to her, this is more fresh, I feel like. Where the other girls have been going through it for so long and have hashed it out so much. I feel like Jen is in a different place with it all.
Yeah. And it's like they're both upset with each other for, you know, completely different things. Like, Demi's upset with Jen for the accusations that she's made and is saying that she's seen things with her and Marciano. So that's why Demi doesn't like her. And then Jen is still upset because of the way that she treated her when she was at her lowest point, which is what upsets me because I feel like Demi has never given her grace. You know what I mean? Like, for what she has gone through, she's never been like, wow, I was really hard on you. I'm sorry. She's like, I don't think that Jen will ever hear that apology until Jen apologizes to me for what she's doing with the whole Marciano thing.
And I think that is the biggest difference with Demi and Whitney and then some of the other girls as to why things move on is that Demi and Whitney, more often than not, refuse to accept their part in the problem. They never apologize, and they just want some people to say you're right. And, like, that's what makes people not like you. Like, those are the reasons. Those are the only reasons. Because other than that, like, they're funny people. They could be likable people. But if every time you mess up, you refuse to ever apologize, and when you're asked about it, even in, you know, going way back, you double down every single time and say, no, I still feel that way, even seeing it over again, it makes you just, who wants to be around someone like that? You don't.
Yep. No. This is always said, you know, this is an event. Like, Jessie looks beautiful. Like, she, for the first time, I feel like she has her hair, like, in a slick back, low, like, I don't want to say updo, but kind of bun thing. And she looks really nice. Macy always looks freaking gorgeous. Like, always has, like, a dress on, her hair done. You can tell she got her makeup done. And Whitney, I was like, what the hell, girl? Comes in, white shorts, white shirt. And I'm like, her stylist was not with her today. Like, no makeup on. Her hair was a little oily. And she kept, like, kind of pushing it behind her ears. But I'm just like, all the girls are glammed. Other than Taylor. I will say Taylor wasn't really, but Taylor's never really glammed either.
Taylor's entire style is dressed down. Like,
yeah, she's very athletic.
But it works for her.
You can tell. Yes. It does work for her. Like, she had on white pants and this really, like, kind of low-cut T-shirt. And I'm like, again, her boobs are amazing. I love her boobs so much.
They're not real.
Well, I know that they look so good.
I don't know if I agree.
And then that was just kind of the end. I know.
I feel like they look like balls.
I love them. I love them.
On her chest.
I don't. Not hers. I don't think Taylor's do.
Know.
Hers always look like a nice, I don't know. I don't know. I agree. I know what you're talking about, and I've seen that on women, but I don't feel that on her.
Layla's do, I feel like, a lot.
Well, Layla, God love her. What do you think that her boobs look like naturally? She's such a tiny girl, and she just went way too large. Some outfits, I don't think it's so bad. Others, they're like pushed and squeezed up so high on her chest, and I'm like, that doesn't even look
I don't even
nice.
know where she got enough skin to cover the damn things.
I know. Could you imagine if she had to get them taken out? Like, she would be so stretched there in her chest. I don't know. Then Leanne is at Taylor's house, and she's just talking to her mom about, you know, that she finally completed all the things to, like, go forward with the documentation or whatever with Ever and moving forward with, like, she's done completely with Dakota. Yeah. And in this moment, like, I do believe her, and I feel like this was her breaking point of, like, no, I'm really done.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, you know, she was telling her that, like, I guess Dakota is, like, not filming anymore, and he refuses to because he said if they were going to bring this up and air this out, that he was done filming.
Okay.
What, did he just want it? Yeah, just to let them, like, push it under the rug, like, oh, Dakota made a mistake again. Like, hell no. What is he? He should know Taylor better than that, or any woman. He has been known as a habitual liar for the entire 3 seasons.
Yeah, why would he think
show.
she would care if he quit filming? Like,
right.
What kind of threat is that? I'd be like, great, okay.
Yeah, bye. Which I would love to know, like, in their contract, how that works. Like, if you're just like, I'm done, like,
right.
do you just not get paid? Because I can't see him being okay with that. Oh, and then I was like, did you notice all the crayons all over the freaking floor at Taylor's house? Like, Ever was just like, she was like handing him, it was like an entire box of crayons, like, all over the floor. And I was like, I feel that. Like, you know, when you have a toddler, and I'm sure, like, even just filming in general to keep him content, she was probably just handing him crayons, and he's just tossing, and it's like, the camera went down to the floor, and it was just like a hot mess of, like, crayons and toys. Whitney and Macy, they meet up at Swig to talk about how, you know, they're going to get the girls together. I guess Whitney went to Macy because she's like a mutual person. You know what I mean? Like, she gets along really with everybody. And she said just because, you know, like, Taylor's the, you know, the head leader of Mom Talk, but because of everything that she's going with Dakota, like, she doesn't want to add something else to her.
Who would have ever thought Whitney would be the glue that could get this group to stick back together?
Right? I did notice when she walked in, and Whitney has done this at least, I mean, like, it has been in my, like, what are the words I'm trying to say right now? Like, I remember her doing this, so it, like, sparked something in my head, like, when she did it this last time. But when she walked in, I think Macy was like, "Oh, you look good," and she's like, "Thank you." You know what I mean? Like, she does that.
She does her little
so many times, and I'm just like, Whitney,
shimmy. Yeah, it's almost like a tick or something. She does it every time.
I know. I probably do shit like that all the time. Like, I'll get hooked on a word, and it comes to a point, like, I start knowing that I'm doing it, and I'm just like, stop. Like, why are you doing, like, she has the same thing, but with her outfit shimmy, and I'm just like, oh my God, Whitney. All right, where am I at here? Oh, Whitney says, okay, so they're, you know, like, talking about, you know, getting the girls together, and she said that they should do this thing that they do in the church, and it's called a testimony meeting, and it's where people, like, get up in front of the church and speak freely, and nobody comments. And I was like, that just sounds like a big judge fest to me. Because you know, in that church, like, they're making it seem like this is a safe place. You can speak your mind. Me, I know I'd be doing it. If I was sitting in those stands, I would be like, because, so, story, I was going to church for a little bit at, like, my oldest daughter, she goes to a church with her boyfriend, and then, and, like, we know the family and everything, and then Harlow was asking, like, she wanted to start going, and this was, like, months and months ago, like, probably the beginning of the year or something, and, so anyway, I was just like, you're not going to deny saying, no, we're not going to church to your kid. If they ask, like, you take them. So we went, and people, you know, would, like, speak their truth or, like, different things, and this is me. Like, you could see everything all over my face. I was there for it. But I was just, like, looking around, and I'm like, nobody else is cracking a nothing. And I am just in, like, if you would have been there, or if, like, Jersey would have been next to me, I would have been like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now? But nobody. Everyone was just, like, clapping, and they're just, like, you know, like,
Well, that church is unique because I've never been to a church like that. Because I went with you one time and there wasn't anything insane. But, like, they did let a couple people say some stuff at the end. It was like, people just stand up and they're like, I'm homeless and I prostituted myself and I did, like, and now I have the money and I'm going to donate it to the church. Like, yeah, it's like the most insane things that, like, I was just like, oh, I mean,
I think it's great that there's, like, you know what I mean? Like a church that is open and allows, you know what I mean? People, it's like, you know, to start over again.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize, like, that's the church that I was going to. But, like, I liked it for that reason. I was just like, wow, this is, like, honest people. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel like I had to be like this perfect little angel or something, and like no one actually spoke what was happening in their lives. But I was just like, oh, like some of the stories, there was some stories I'm not even gonna say them, but I was just like, what? Like, holy shit. So,
that was the first church I ever went to that I felt like it was a church that was really trying to help people. Like, it was the first 100%. Church that I was like, this is like a legit trying to make a difference in the world people. Like, this isn't we go to church to make ourselves feel good and say that we went and, like, we're good now for the rest of the week or whatever. Like, this church was legit helping people change their lives. And I did really enjoy it. They do
so much. Like, build, like, homes for people to, like, you know what I mean, stay in. The pastor had a really, really, like, awful growing up, like a life. Like, I'm pretty sure, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that he was on, like, drugs, and he like completely changed his life, and now he's, like, very much him and his wife involved in the church. I love that. Like, I like hearing those stories. So, she wants to, so then that was pretty much it. You know, like, they're just coming up with a plan of, like, what they're going to do to, like, get the girls together. Jesse's at her house, and Jordan walks in, and they're, you know, over the whole, like, 90-day breakup thing. I was so annoyed that Jordan, like, they sit down, and Jordan immediately says, you know, like, I did all the things. I've gone to therapy. I'm a changed man. I'm choosing to stay with you. What? Yeah. Oh, okay, Jordan, you choose. So then everything's fine. Yeah. And I know it wasn't probably like, I don't know, but that's the way that, like, I took it. And I wanted to be like, why do you get to make the choice? You know what I mean? Like, let's hear Jessie out. And now she did say, you know, like, immediately, and she was like, I'm afraid to get back together because I'm afraid it's going to go back to the way it was.
Right.
And I don't know, they talked through the whole thing, and he thinks that he's a complete changed man. And then, I didn't like this either. He blames his actions on him having a child when he was 18 years old, got married, then got divorced immediately, I guess, and he felt unlovable, and he couldn't control that. So that's why he's controlling Jessie.
Haven't we all been through some shit? Like, does that mean because we had a rough patch in our life, we get to treat everybody else like shit? Yeah. I felt bad one time, so I get to yell at you whenever I want. Like, what? That's crazy.
I feel like they are telling these therapists, we need to find something. We need to find something to fall back on, and this is good enough. So this is what we're going to tell the world, that he's such a controlling asshole because he had a child when he was young and he got divorced and he felt unlovable, and that wasn't, he couldn't control that.
Has nothing to do that he grew up in a patriarchy where men were told how amazing they were from the time that they came out of a woman, and that they're right and that they're in control, and that anything that makes them look weak, you know, like... Yeah, it had nothing to do with all of those things. It's just because I was like, unlovable once.
Yeah, bullshit, Jordan. I was just like, if that's the story you want to stick with, then whatever.
He hasn't changed either. I've heard him on podcast interviews that were like literally 2 weeks ago, and he still has so many of his excuses, and you can still tell that Jesse is so uncomfortable with the way he answers stuff and does not like the way that he is still talking about everything that happened. And she still feels like he's blaming the fact that she had an affair, that he could treat her like that. Like, it's still happening today, so he hasn't changed.
No. And when I saw it was on Instagram or whatever, but it's like a commercial that they're doing, and I can't even remember. It was like for a specific like food brand or whatever that they're promoting, but they were using like what they're going through to promote this, and they're like sitting on the couch like they're in therapy, and then I don't know, like someone brings this food in and she's like, oh, you remembered. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Like, it was cringe. Like, I did not like it, and I was like, oh, you're using what's happening in your life for money and for promotions. And I mean, like, whatever, you know, do what you got to do, I guess. But I'm also like, Jesse, you're a millionaire. You don't need that. You don't need that pocket change.
No.
Like, why do that? I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
It was probably his commercial,
and
he was making her be a part of it.
Probably. So, this was something else I wanted to bring up. Did you hear that Jesse had another affair with Marciano?
No.
Like, something was said that after all of this happened, that Jordan was like going through her phone or at some point, and he found, I shouldn't say affair. Affair to these people and affair to us is completely different. If there's an affair, I'm fucking another man behind my husband's back. That's an affair to me. I think she was having another emotional affair or whatever, that she was messaging Marciano again. Like, they were having conversations, and I think Jordan found it or something. Yeah. So, I don't know. This annoyed me too. So, Jesse says, now you can move back in, you know, and you don't have to do all your wash, like go to the, get your wash done or whatever, because he was staying in a hotel. And she's like, but you can still continue to do your own laundry. And Jordan says, okay, are you going to mow the grass? And Jesse just kind of laughs and says, I'll hire someone. And I would have been like, you are a fucking stay-at-home dad.
Yes.
Like, there are rules. You know what I mean? Like, at one point in my life, I was a stay-at-home mother. You know what I mean? And it was like, my husband worked all day. When I was at home, that was my job. I took care of, you know, the girls. I cooked, I cleaned, I did the house things. You know what I mean? Like, that just irritated the shit out of me. I was like, clearly, like, Jessie is a fucking businesswoman running a salon, running a school for hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then you expect her to do all that stuff on top of it? I mean, like, if I were Jessie, I'd be hiring some people.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is such bullshit. Like, that made me so
a very normal man mentality that it's like, well, you do the stuff in the house because I do the yard work. Okay, so I have this checklist that's this long of things with kids' school, all the housework that's daily. Laundry is daily. You know, getting kids around and laundry and dishes and edit and all of that stuff is daily. That is a constant picking up, constant thing. So that you can go do the yard work once a week?
Yeah.
How is that equal? What are you even... Oh, and you take the trash out once a week, too. Like, I've heard that mentality before, and that's always, like, a man's kind of, like, throwback. Like, oh, are you going to take the trash out? Yeah, I'd probably figure it out. I figure out everything else in this world. I'd probably figure out how to manage that, too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
It is
so it did
crazy.
surprise me that he said it, but...
I know. I was just like, you're supposed to be saying that you've changed, and clearly you did not.
No.
So all the girls are meeting to talk, and Demi and Whitney walk in together, and it's like this beautiful suite. I don't know if they're at like a hotel or where they are, but like Taylor even commented, there's a swimming pool, but it was like a really nice like living room kitchen area that they were in. Then Macy and Taylor walk in together, and Demi asks Taylor, if they could privately have a conversation outside. So, they go out and sit down and talk, and Demi is just like, apologizes immediately for like how hard she was on Taylor, how she treated her mom, talks about her childhood a little bit, which I didn't realize that she has a sibling that has Down syndrome. And I think she called it like the glass house syndrome or something.
Glass child.
Child, not glass house.
The child that like doesn't have the disability is like glass, as in they are like see-through. Like you don't pay attention to them because you need, as a parent, to focus so much on the disability and the child that needs to be taken care of. So it's called glass child syndrome.
So I can understand that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like her saying that, I was just like, that makes sense, because I feel like Demi does need a lot of attention on her.
Yeah,
she
I can
wants
see
everyone
why.
to be on her side, to cater to her. So that was like, thank you for being so, you know what I mean, vulnerable and open, because that actually, like, I get that. Then, I didn't really say a whole lot else. I don't know if you want to chime in on this at all. I just said, like,
no,
Taylor
I mostly
accepts her apology, like, in a roundabout way. But she did say, like, you definitely need to apologize and have a conversation with my mom. She's just like, me, I'm a big girl. Like, I can handle it. She's like, but the way that you spoke to my mom is, like, not okay.
Yeah.
And that was...
Yeah, I kind of had the same things. I thought the history with her brother was interesting, and I can't imagine feeling like you deserve attention once you're out on your own and you, like, don't need that anymore. Like, you would be attention seeking for a long time after that. But she's also a grown adult now and needs to deal with all of that, and probably somewhere else than ketamine therapy. Like, she needs to do some legit shit. And then the only other thing I remember is that the women, like at the end, Taylor hugs her and she's like, and you look so pretty today. And I'm like, I am so bad at that. Like, I will never be like, oh my God, I love your shoes. I love your outfit. Oh, like, I was not born with that gene. Like, I feel like even my little girls, like, I obviously didn't like role model that for them, but like, my oldest will always be like, oh my God, I love your dress. Or like we'll go through the drive-thru and like a young girl will have like crazy eyeshadow and she'll say, I love your eyeshadow. Like she just like was born with that female, like I'm going to compliment you gene. And I always like, sometimes I think I'm like, I love the way that person looks or whatever, but I will never say it. And I need to be better about it.
Yeah. I do have that gene.
You do.
Yeah. I will compliment, or if I like something that someone's wearing, I'm like, where did you get that? Like, you look so cute. I love it. I love this. So Taylor says to Whitney, like when they walk in, she's like, you've been pretty chirpy lately. Like, what are you on? Chirpy. I thought that was, and I even like went back and listened to it again. 'Cause I'm like, did she mean chippy? Like, but she said chirpy. And chirpy, when I think of that, I think of like, like
talking
chirping.
A lot.
Yeah, but she was just like, really? Like, and she said, oh, I'm on her vibrator. That's what she said. That's why she's so chirpy. But she was like, it was like just a joke. But, and then Jessie walks in and I'm like, can we talk about her outfit? She was wearing like pajamas, which is fine. But like something that
it was like
be wearing to what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cute on her. I don't know. It was
cute, but not to wear in public.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
I would never wear that in public. Like, it was like short cloth shorts and like a long, like, button up, like waffle top or whatever. And I was like, oh, it's cute. But I was just shocked. I wouldn't wear that to the grocery store. Like, I wouldn't wear that out and about.
Yeah, I don't wear shorts, period, but...
Me either. I hate shorts. I hate my legs. So the girls are each given, like this glow stick to wear around their neck, and then they're going to speak, their truth and take accountability, and then they crack the glow stick and like move on to the next.
Let their light shine.
Let their light shine, yes. So Whitney goes first, gets very emotional. I loved this for Whitney. Like I felt like
too.
Whitney finally was like I don't want to say a normal person, that's not, finally was just like, didn't have her guard up. You know what I mean? Like, was so like open and truthful and said that she regretted not going to Macy's baby shower. Like, thank you. I think that's what the entire world finally wanted to hear, that you regretted it. Like, come on. So I love that.
I feel like Whitney either went to counseling and like let the counselor watch the show and was like, tell me why these people hate me, or she hired PR. Like something happened to make this click. I don't believe it just happened for Whitney. Like somebody from the outside, I think, helped her to get to this point, which is not I'm not dissing that. Like that's what she needed, but like, yeah, somebody actually helped her understand this, and I was happy for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she kind of goes through and like, speaks to each person individually, mostly Macy and Michaela. And you can see like Michaela in that moment, she's not even angry. You can see like just almost like the hurt. And I feel like, like you could see that they were finally, going to be working this out.
Yes. Yeah.
Jen speaks about what she went through. In the past year, I felt like she took very much accountability for everything that she's done. She apologizes to everyone. Yeah. I thought what she said was like, I liked it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was everything that she went through within the past year. Demi, in confession, is like, Jen owes me a personal apology for telling lies about her and Marciano, and I didn't understand that. Like, I felt like what she said pretty much was just like, nah. I was like, I didn't agree. I was just like, I was not okay with that. Michaela then, like she got very emotional, and, like this made sense also. She talks about how, like, she was so overprotective about certain people, like Taylor and who else was she? Was it Jen and Macy? I forget. But, like she didn't have that protection of like somebody looking out for her when she was a child. So she overcompensates, and sometimes she can get a little like angry about it and like all her past trauma that she went through. And, her and Whitney apologizing to each other, I thought, was like a big moment.
That was really big.
The other girls, it was just kind of short clips. And I was not even, there was nothing really to say. Demi, I didn't, she apologizes. I don't, did anything stick out with you with what she said?
She did better with her and Taylor alone than like this group scene.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't know.
It was just kind of like, I can't even like, I don't know. Like felt like, I feel like she talks circles. You know what I mean?
Does.
Like she talks like to what you want to hear, but it never actually makes sense.
No.
So like I couldn't even like make any notes because I didn't really understand what was happening.
Yeah. Overall, I was just really surprised that the girls followed the rules because, like, when Jen finished, I'm surprised Demi didn't say, and what about me? Like, I was actually surprised that, like, but they all have been indoctrinated, I guess, into the church and, like, following this, what did you call it? Confessional or whatever they call it. This thing that they do. So they probably already, like, are used to following the rules of this kind of thing. But I was like, wow, normally on these kind of shows, they say you can't talk, but there's always someone who says something.
Who, like, it's kind of hard. So they have this little doll called Eve, and they, like, kind of like the spirit stick or whatever. Like, when you're holding this, like, no one else can talk kind of thing. So Demi takes this and she's talking about the same situation, you know, like everything is this, you know, the whole Marciano, that nothing happened and that like he did sexually assault her. Like those were her words. And then Jen says that she's just confused and that she just still does not understand how she can make me these claims when, you know, she was talking to him the way that she was.
Yeah.
It was this, I don't know, like I feel like we've had these same conversations for the past how many episodes. Nothing is getting,
no, what
everyone's
does it
sticking
mean
with
what
their
people to say? Nobody has even come out and said like, we don't believe you. They're just like, okay.
It's not adding up. Yeah.
What,
Not that,
what do you want from us?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
You know, yeah, and they were this. I was like, the girls were like, you know, about the whole, you know, cum emoji thing or whatever. And I don't know if it was Jen or who it was, but they're like, those were flirty conversations. And Demi's like, no, they weren't. Literally everyone was like, yes, they were, Demi.
Yeah.
And you could see like it was starting to get a little aggressive because it was like, if you think that those were not flirty messages, come on. Like, I wouldn't message that to some random man.
No.
Like, no. So Whitney immediately is like, give me the doll, give me the doll. And she's like, listen, we all may not understand what Demi has gone through. And like, she brings up the whole Connor situation. She's like, there are things that Connor has told me that I don't understand. But it's not for me to understand. You don't know what they were going through in that moment. So I feel like she like got everyone to like calm down, which is understandable. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to understand Demi.
Yeah.
It's whatever's happening in her. She needs to figure that out herself.
Yeah. And people do weird shit in the moment. Like, sometimes you don't even know why you did something that you did in the moment. You know what I mean? So I get the Whitney side of it or whatever.
Right. So Jesse brings up the pictures again, and Demi says, you know, they were talking a lot at that time. And, you know, because of the Marciano-Jesse situation. And I love this because Jesse called her out and she was just like, oh, so that was okay. Like, you were talking to him so much to take me down is pretty much, you know, what it was all about. And she was like, no, like, that's not why at all. And I'm thinking, if this man sexually assaulted you, and why would you have multiple conversations with him if you weren't trying to, I feel like, deflect your situation and turn this around onto somebody else? Like, that's what 100%. You were doing. I wish she would just take accountability for that.
Yes.
Jessie talks about, again, not feeling good enough in her life. And, like, it really broke her when Demi was, like, saying about, you know, her hair and, like, talking trash about it. Like, I feel that for her. You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever want, like, especially your profession, this is your life, and you already feel like not good about yourself, and then someone says that, that's like shitty.
Yeah.
No one is saying that they didn't believe. Oh, and then like I think Layla spoke up and she's like, Demi, we are not victim shaming you. We are not saying that we don't believe you. We're just saying we're not understanding the things that are adding up.
Yeah.
They all kind of hug, and I think that they just want everything, you know, to move on. Whitney and Michaela hug. That was a huge thing. Yeah, I think Demi and Jesse actually cried, and like Demi was like, I was an asshole. I was such a bitch. I think she even called herself a cunt. Ooh, I hate that word.
That word doesn't bother me.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, yeah, I think that everyone, like, and I know, like, in confession, who was it? Oh, Jesse and Jen. We're both kind of like, we're just kind of keeping her at an arm's length kind of thing.
Which is fair. Yeah.
Absolutely. Which I think I go back to that later. I'll get to that point then. So, Ever's blessing of comfort is okay. It's called this a blessing of comfort because Dakota wouldn't approve the baby blessing. And I was like, this is bullshit and disgusting. This is what makes me so angry about this whole, like,
yeah. I wouldn't even bless my baby with that church if I had to get a man's approval to do it. It wouldn't
No,
even be a thing I
agreed.
would do.
Yeah. It says men hold the priesthood.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it. I didn't really talk much about the blessing. I thought it was
that was
sweet
just
that
like
her
a sweet
dad,
little scene. Yeah.
prayed and did, like he was there for Taylor in that moment. Jesse's talking to Jordan and Jace. Oh, this is still at the baby blessing. And Jace was just like, yeah, like, I can't believe it. Like, he said how he was, like, would never lie again. There's no other lies. And Jace was just, like, shocked that this came out. And Jordan's like, Taylor, if there was more that I found out, I would be furious for you. Shut the fuck up. No, you wouldn't. I was like, bullshit.
You knew about this for how long and did say anything?
Years. Like 2 years or whatever the hell it was.
Benefited you to tell Jesse to make her get back on your side.
Yeah. Then in confession, he was like, kind of said the opposite and was just like, I was really worried when I told Jesse because I wasn't sure how this was going to affect Dakota and I's relationship. But Dakota said I set him free. Shut the fuck up. Demi shows up, to the baby blessing, and Jen is still not on board with Demi. And you can tell, like, she thinks that, okay, this is where I was going to get to. Jen thinks that she's very calculated and that she's back and forth on, for her own gain. And she thinks that she is a threat to mom talk. I agree. I don't think that this is ever going to end. I think that there's going to constantly be something. The girls do a TikTok. And then Jessie talks and says that she's not sure if she can trust her. And she also uses the term calculated in her in confession. Then it goes to Taylor meeting Chase for dinner. Chase apologizes for everything.
Yeah.
This was very flirtatious, like the way that they were talking.
It was just like shoved into this episode. I feel like it didn't even happen around this time. Like,
so I think they wanted it to end with some drama. Like, Taylor went on a date with Chase. Like, I feel like, how there's always that ending to want more? That was their ending.
It was
so we're like, let's put that in there.
Yeah, because Taylor didn't even look as her face didn't look as thin as she did towards the end of the season. Like, I think this actually happened way earlier, and they just were like, this is a good place to put it.
Do you think, though, because he asked about how her and Dakota are doing, and she's like, oh, we're done. We are done.
I don't know, maybe.
Brought up that he cheated on her or whatever with this family friend, and he's like, what? Like, you could see there are times that I'm just like, oh, they already knew this. Mm-hmm. In that moment, Chase was just like, I just saw her at the gym. Are you serious? Like, that's messed up.
Oh, I forgot that happened in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And Taylor was like, if Chase thinks that's messed up, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So
but
then,
I'm just suspicious because I heard on another podcast, I think it was Demi, and she said they are asked can you provide some storylines, what's going on in your life, what are we going to follow? So the producers have something, to know what's going to be happening story wise to build the season. And she said one of the things she pitched was essentially this scene, but it was going to be her and Dakota meeting up in a car or something to talk, and it was going to be a cliffhanger that, are Demi and Dakota having an affair? So she almost pitched something like that. So to me, I'm just this is all made up. They're purposely making their conversation seem flirty. I don't even trust it. This show, after I saw the reunion, is so produced. I'm suspicious of everything now. It all seems so why? Because it makes no sense. Why would she go after Chase? It just makes no sense.
I know. And then Chase tells Taylor that him and Kate broke up, which I didn't know that. Which, I mean, I knew that, but, in this season, I didn't realize that, that they broke up. Chase says at the end, should we kiss for old time's sake? Ugh. And then that was it. That was the end. And then, she's just oh, Chase, and, laughing and smiling, and, that was...
I kind of wish they would have just ended it with the girls' confessional, whatever, discussions or whatever. Like,
I agree,
That
'cause then it would be like
good ending.
Yeah, season 4, all the girls are back together.
Yeah.
Everything's good. And then we had to end with that. And then I feel like going from that to the reunion was just even more ick.
The way that they produced the reunion, I was like, what happened? This makes no sense. Did we forget episode 10 existed? Like, it's so weird.
I know.
I'm like, did they do the reunion before episode 10 dropped? So no one knew that was going to be in there? Or like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It makes no sense.
I know. So.
All right.
So yeah, that's it. Season 3
we're
is
done.
a wrap.
I am so excited to take a break, go into Christmas. We'll come back with the Valley. Like, it's going to be good after that.
It is going to be good.
All right. So thanks. Yeah, me too. And it actually has some, like, crazy people to talk about. So it'll be good to get into all new people. Listen to us on, anywhere you get your podcast. Rate and review us. I haven't said that in a while, but we could really use some, like, 5-star reviews. Just follows is really helpful. Automatic downloads, all of that stuff on, like, Spotify and Apple and everything. We're at Shaded Reality Pod on all of the social media, so follow us on those if you want to get, I don't know, clips from the show ahead of time or silly little things. And Shaded Reality Pod at gmail.com if you want to email us. Thanks for listening. I think that's everything.
Yep, I think you covered it all.
All right. Talk to you later.
Have
Bye.
a very Merry Christmas, right?
Yes, everyone, I guess, have a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2026.
Yeah, we'll be back July. We'll be back January 3rd. I think will be the Tuesday. 2nd. January 2nd.
2nd.
Will be the first Valley that drops. So, all right.
Bye.